Look, the strategies that most of these agencies, freelancers, and ad experts use to scale e-commerce brands actually suck. And that is why your brand ends up with really high cost per purchase, inconsistent and volatile results, and a very high reliance on discounts, which quite honestly makes you feel anxious and stressed about your brand. But here's the good news. All of that ends today. Because if you stick till the end of this training, and if you implement the 4-step unique scaling protocol that I'm about to show you in today's training, then you'll be on track to scale past 1 CR per month or $100,000 per month without dealing with any inconsistencies or your ROAS falling apart every time we scale. And as a bonus, I'm also going to give you my my highest converting Facebook ads and a 7-figure cheat sheet on you can scale past 1 CR or $100,000 per month profitably. And look, this isn't any normal strategy that you've already seen on YouTube. This combines AI, viral hooks, psychology-based selling, and a secret blend of 11 herbs and spices that convert like crazy. We call it the ACE framework. And we've used this in over 57 e-commerce sub-niches to generate over 187 crores in combined client revenue just this year alone. And by the end of this video, I'm going to give it all to you completely for free. And here are just a few of our client results that we are able to generate using this whole framework that I'm about to reveal now. For this client here, we generated 10.4 lakh in a single day with over 700 orders. For another client here, we scaled them up to 5.8 CR in just 5 months at a plus 10x ROAS. And what's new about this framework is certainly not the results, because we're already using this system for over 4.5 years now. And that's the kind of track record that this has. I mean, just by using this system alone, we're able to get our clients such solid results that they choose to stay with us for an average of 1.3 years. And this is excluding the clients that we have long-term contracts with. The difference now is that we're able to refine nearly 80% of the process, all thanks to AI. And we use the same framework to scale this brand from barely breaking even 1 year before to now doing over 61 lakh in a single week without even running any discount. And this client over here was burned by a previous agency, and then we came on board and we literally turned things around. And we generated over 4,25,000 rupees back at a 10.5x attributed ROAS. And another client here in the home decor space, we spent 1.9 lakh rupees in ad spend, and we generated over 16 lakh rupees in sales and over 1,514 units sold with a 8.8 attributed ROAS. So while most of DTC brands are sweating their sales balls off, trying to mimic competitors, running cookie cutter ads that blend in, and relying on heavy discounts, working with incompetent big agencies that just hand over their account to an overworked fresher, me and my clients are keeping things very simple, because simplicity scales and complexity fails. This is the single best way to scale your brand past 45 lakh rupees a month, or even that 1 CR per month mark without facing any major performance dips, ad account fatigues, or you could go on burning through your ad budget on every trending ad angle and every last chance offer that you run every week, chasing a crowd that's more interested in swiping past your offers than actually buy what you have to offer. So now you're thinking, who is this tall and strong guy talking hell again? And quite honestly, I don't blame you. My name is Sairaj, and I'm the founder of ASX Media, an advertising agency that actually gets the clients the results. In short 4.5 years, we've worked with over 57 different e-commerce sub-niches to generate over 187 CR in combined client revenue just this year alone. And here are a few of the articles that we've been featured in. And we've also helped a lot of Shark Tank brands grow and scale them aggressively while hitting their revenue goals and taking care of all the marketing heavy liftings for them. Here's Ankush. He's one of our clients who was featured on Shark Tank Season 3. And we've gotten them some amazing results. Here's one of the instances where we had a big day. And this was when we achieved one of their biggest sales from when they started out. So we had them scale through a revenue ceiling. And this was just us celebrating in the chat. And once you install this ACE advertising system into your business, you'll be scaling as consistently and predictably as the sun rises. And I'll make sure to show you this entire system in action, along with mountains of proof to back these claims that I'm making. That way, regardless if you're just making around 10 to 20 lakh rupees a month, or you're already making 50 lakh rupees a month, or maybe even you're at that 75 lakh rupees a month, and you want to get to that 1 to 2 CR per month, you're going to leave this video knowing exactly what you need to do in order to get to the next level. But look, I completely understand if you don't have the time to sit down and watch a 45-minute training and then go and implement it yourself or have your team do it. But you would rather have us come in and do it for you so that you can go on that dream vacation, splurge a lot of money on organic smoothies, buy those designer sneakers, get that dream car that you're always talking about. Then do yourself a favor and book in a call with my team below by clicking the button below this video. And I guarantee you that this will be the best 30 minutes that you spend on your business this year. Still not convinced? Keep watching, it only gets better. We spend well over 3.5 CR every single month in combined ad spend for our clients across Facebook, Instagram, Google, YouTube, TikTok, Snapchat, and even Pinterest ads. My team and I are basically hyper obsessed, and we've tested every type of offer, creative, ad copy theory on how to scale brands online. So rather than trying to convince you that we are different, let me just show you instead. Just this year alone, we have done over 187 CR in sales across 57 different e-commerce sub-niches. I'm not just here making claims out of thin air. We have actually gone through the nightmare process of trial and error, spending lakhs and crores of rupees in search of the most effective way to scale DTC brands profitably in any sub. And we have found it. Look, if you can't take a month's vacation without your business burning to the ground, then you don't really have a business. You just have a business that owns you. And quite frankly, that's just a job. I'm guessing the reason you're watching this training is because in some way your business isn't where exactly you want it to be. So just put your skepticism aside for a moment and imagine what it would feel like if every worry you have about where your next sale would come from would just disappear. You'll be actually able to increase your income, travel the world, buy that sports car, buy those expensive sneakers, those watches, whatever you want. And most importantly, you'll feel confident that your business is on solid foundation. Now, lucky for you, here's the good news. There are only 4 steps that you'll ever need in consistently getting customers profitably and scaling past that 1 CR per month mark. So let's dive into step 1. When it comes to traffic, people are spending on an average 4 hours and 60 minutes per day online. And there has never been a time in history where it's easier to reach your customers for so little money. Facebook has more than 3 billion monthly active users, and there are over 8.5 billion searches on Google every single day. These are prospects who are in hunt mode looking for solutions to the problem. But the problem is that people are becoming numb to ads, and the reason for that is on an average a person sees close to 5,000 to 10,000 ads per day. And customers have gotten so strong at identifying the pattern that it just takes 0.4 seconds for them to identify an ad and to scroll past it. And all of this is done subconsciously. And that's exactly where our step number 1 of scaling system comes in. We create ads and copies that look native to the platform. And no, I'm not talking about UGCs.
Tattoo this on your eyelids.
The most dependable and predictable way to generate wealth is to turn advertising dollars into profit. It's not buying stocks, bonds, crypto, stupid NFTs, or real estate. With a couple of ads and this little money printing machine, I can capture attention and turn that into returns of well over 1000%. And that is exactly what we do with ads, but not just any old ads. The reason that you've hired agencies, consultant, or internal employees in the past and haven't gotten results, because these geeks quite honestly think that the game is won in the ads manager. They'll try every sort of campaign, every CBO, ABO, micro sequential retargeting campaign, tofu, bofu, one campaign, one ad set, three ads, and all these different things that take you nowhere. And look, AI is taking over, and Facebook, Google, and all these other platforms have like a bazillion data points on your ideal prospect. And they exactly know who your ideal buyers are. So let me just clarify it here. The game is not won in the ads manager, but it's won in camping out in the minds of your ideal buyers. In a world full of funnel hackers, funnel hacking other funnel hackers, and thousands of marketers all saying the same shit, you have to zig while everyone else is zag. And that's exactly what we do with our ads. People hate ads, and most brands run ads that are plain and boring as shit. Instead, what you have to do is do the exact opposite and put together ads and hooks that are so different, so unique that they hijacks people's attention. Your copy and messaging needs to be so sharp and specific that it gets under the fingernails of your ideal customer. And look, the main reason that we do that is because in any given market, there are only 3% of the people that are looking to buy right now. Then there's further 17% that is in the information gathering mode. And look, the reason that you're seeing inconsistencies, unpredictability, really high cost per clicks, really high CPMs, really high cost per purchase is because in any given market, at any given time, there's only 3% of the people that are actually looking to buy right now. And what your campaigns are doing right now is basically they're targeting exactly these 3% of the people that almost every other brand is targeting. So there's a lot of competition. So the energy required to convert these people is very less. But there's a lot of competition. All the brands are going after this. And at the end of the day, all these platforms are basically bidding platforms. So whoever pays the highest bid gets the customer. And that's one of the main reasons you're not seeing the results that you want. Now there's a further 17% that is in the information gathering mode. These are window shoppers who might not be looking to buy right now, but they're open to it. Then there's a further 20% who are problem aware. They'd probably like to refresh the wardrobe, they'd like to upgrade their tech accessories or even improve their living space, but they are not actively researching or looking to buy. And then there's another 60% who aren't problem aware or looking to buy at all. In any given market, only 3% of the people are looking to buy right now. And everyone and their moms are making ads knowingly or unknowingly that target the 3% of the people because they're easier to convert. And what happens when everyone goes for the same market? Your CPMs rise, your cost per purchase goes up, your ROAS sinks further than the Titanic. And this is exactly why your ads stop working after 3 days, your performance falls apart every time you push for growth, and your growth plateaus. And the main reason this happens is because the agency and the freelancer that you're hired is probably using spy tools to spy on competitor ads and replicate it exactly based on what their biggest competitors are doing. Because if an ad is running for 332 days and has gotten 438,000 engagement, then it's working well, and you need to do the same stuff. Like, no bro, you don't. Now here's what we do instead. We use something called as social hacking, which is a combination of behavioral models and viral hooks. Because look, we're competing with DMs, real trends, tweets, supermodels on Instagram. So unless you hook your viewers straight away, it's over for you. And this is exactly where we use tools to gather intel and camp out in the minds of our dream prospects. We look at what's going viral on Reels, what products people buy, and then use AI as our own forensic detective to find out what stimuluses they'll respond to. And as a result of that, we only put out offers and ads that the market absolutely loves and resonates with. And then we take all of that research and put it into sheets to craft up our ideal customer persona. And not only that, we have a very streamlined way of making creatives as well. We use this whole tracking sheet to keep a track of what's currently working, what are the emotional triggers that people are responding to, what sort of creatives are working, what are the headlines, the copies that are working, why is it working, what's the ad spend, what's the revenue, all of this in detail. That just helps us make better informed decisions. And when you do all of this, you end up with a lot more engagement, bargain CPAs, and there are people clicking through and buying your products. So if you don't want to wake up every morning with nervous diarrhea, watching your checking account barely moving month on month, or wondering how you're going to grow your business, you have to control people's attention. So much control that you can put $1 in your ad and get $2, $3, $5, or even $10 back. Just how we've done for this client here. We scaled them up so hard, so aggressively that we ended up doing 2.78 CR in a single month, processing over 14,000 orders, and you can see the aggressive growth we've had. We've almost like tripled their business in a single month, and we've grown their orders by 150%. And for this brand here as well, in the clothing niche, where we spent 3.5 lakh rupees on ads, and we made back over 40 lakh rupees in sales. And this is just the attributed ROAS. That is well over 10x ROAS and 2,000 units sold. And for this client here in the jewelry niche, where we're operating at a 16x ROAS at scale, we're spending 1.4 lakh rupees on ad, done 24 lakhs in sales, and 1,570 orders at a 90 rupee cost per purchase. Where else can you go and get these type of returns on your money? Now here's step 2. You need high converting, proven offers that work. And hold on, I don't mean discounts. This is the biggest mistake that I've seen people make online. Look, if you're trying to increase your ROAS, here's the magic formula. ROAS is obviously your revenue divided by your ad spend, but if you look deeper and if you actually understand what exactly contributes to your revenue and what are the main metrics that affect your revenue, then it basically boils down to this. ROAS is calculated based on your CTR, your conversion rate, your average order value, and it's divided by your CPM. If you're really good in math, using your 7,000 IQ, you would have figured out by now that everything on top needs to be as high as possible, and your CPM, that is everything at the bottom, needs to be as low as possible if you want your ROAS to go up. And the problem I see is that too many brands focus on leaning on discounts just to keep their performance from slipping away. And for you as the brand owner, it often means shrinking your margins and training your audience to wait for the next sale rather than paying the full price. And the worst thing that happens here is that people start perceiving your brand as a discounting brand, and trust me, you don't want that to happen. Now once you have this system in place, everything becomes profitable. And you're basically spending the same amount of money to acquire a customer, but instead of the customer paying you 1,000 rupees, let's say, now they're paying you 1,500 or even 2,000 rupees while being incentivized to do so. Okay, so how exactly do we do this? Well, the quickest, simplest, and the easiest way that we found is by using something called an offer sheet, which is basically a database of all the winning offers that we've tried in the past and that convert like crazy. And we take the time to understand your unit economics first, and then based on that, craft or find your winning offer that is already proven to work. So with this, we are eliminating all the guesswork of launching offers that might work or that might not work, and we're trying out offers that are already proven to work. So we don't have to reinvent the wheel here. And instead of launching those normal get 10% off on your first purchase offers, which your customers are bored of seeing and which makes you essentially lose on your profit margin, we have offers in place that incentivize the customer to buy more, make you more money, plus not perceive you as a discounting brand. Nothing can stop you from improving your performance. Here's one of our client accounts, and they were having a really tough month in the month of May. And as you can see, this was all before working with us. So they faced a really tougher month with the other agency during this month. And as you can see, in the month of May, they had done $14,000, which was 32% down from the last month. Their orders were down, their returning customer rate was down, average order value was down, their conversion rate was down, right? So all their numbers were basically going down, and this is when they decided to switch agencies. And next month is where we came on board. And after coming on board in their business, we started their business and we implemented all of our systems. After we coming into the business, we realized that their problem wasn't with the kind of ads they were running, but it was with the kind of offer that they had. So with this offer, the founder was giving a 10% off on the first purchase plus free shipping. As you can see, the average order value went down because of that. So what we did was we basically came in and we changed the offer around. And I'll show you the impact that had in the month of June. So just by making this one small change towards one small variable, that is to the offer, all of the numbers turned around. For example, they doubled their revenue. They went from 14,000 to 27,000, almost 92% growth. Their total number of orders grew by 20%. Returning customer rate went up. And the main reason that their whole revenue grew was just because we worked on this average order value, which grew by 43%. And because this grew by 43%, that had a snowball effect on their sales. And their sales grew by 90%, which is quite honestly almost double. Imagine what it would mean for you if you're spending the same amount of money that you're spending on ads right now. But if you just implement the right offer, the right positioning, then you can literally double your business overnight without making any change in the ad account. So basically, you could go from spending 25 lakh and making 50 lakh rupees, and out of that, just profiting around 2 to 3 lakh rupees every single month, to doubling that and profiting 6 lakh rupees without making any change, but just changing the offer. And here's another brand for whom we did 6 lakh orders in a single day at 1 lakh in ad spend, and this is completely a prepaid store. So none of these orders are cash on delivery. And for this client here, we generated 13 lakh rupees in sales from just 1 lakh rupees in ad spend at a 13.5x ROAS and 1,249 units sold. For another client, we generated 61 lakh rupees in sales, and as you can see here, their highest day was when we did around 16 lakh rupees in a single day. So a week before this, we actually sold out the entire inventory, and they had to pause operation for 4 to 5 days because they didn't have any stock left. So once the stock was back, we started ramping up the ads very aggressively back again. Within the first few days, we touched the 10 lakh rupees a month mark. We had to slow it down back again to have the inventory sorted out, and then once it was all sorted, we scaled it aggressively, and we scaled it aggressively to 16 lakh rupees per day in sales. And towards the end is when we changed the offer as well, because if you look over here, the number of orders dropped, and this was all thanks to the new offer that we ran that was proven to work. And just by changing one thing, we went from 6 lakh rupees to 15 lakh rupees. And again, just like your ads, your offer has to be really solid, because the 10% off on your first purchase no longer works, and people continuously hit with discounts every time they blink online. So unless you have a really strong offer that's proven to work every single time without burning your margins, you're basically cooking your brand and your loyal fan base. So now let's look at step number 3, which is knowing exactly what to do when things don't go out your way. Now look, turning complete strangers into customers with paid ads isn't something that I've just learned yesterday. This is something that I've mastered through trial and error of running ads for over 5 years. And 99% of what you hear on the subject of running ads is totally wrong. These platforms that you're advertising on, they have a billion data points on your ideal prospects, and they exactly know who your buyers are. So unless something is broken with the way that you run ads, there is no reason why you shouldn't be getting the kind of results that you want to be getting. And that is exactly where most of the experts and ad agencies go wrong. They get so emotionally attached to the campaigns that they cannot make effective decisions based on data. And not only that, even if they use a magic wand to figure out where exactly the problem lies with your ads, they don't have a system, or they don't know how to fix that problem. Which is kind of similar to going to a doctor, where the doctor pokes you all over your body, and once they figured out exactly where it hurts, they give you 50 different medicines to see which one would work on you. Instead, what a good doctor does is that they begin by asking where exactly is the pain. And once they have figured out what the pain is and what the disease is, they then give you a prescribed medicine that is proven to work time and again. And that is exactly what we do with our process. And the way exactly that we do that is by having a detailed step-by-step framework in place to identify all the problems. This helps us eliminate any guesswork or any emotional attachment in the ad account. So now that we identified all the issues, we need a solution as well. Because what's the point in knowing that there's a problem if you can't even fix it with a solution, right? But guess what? Your boy's got the treatment for that too. Not only does this SOP show us the problem, but it also gives us the solution on what needs to be done when things go south. And this system has been battle tested on over 447 different ad accounts in different countries and over 57 e-commerce sub-niches. So with this SOP in place, you no longer have to stress about how to revive your old campaigns that were once your best performing campaign. With this diagnostic system in place, you're not making short-term fixes, but rather you're setting up for long-term growth potential. Imagine pinpointing issues as soon as they arise, making adjustments in real time and preventing performance drops. So instead of running campaigns that give back less each time, you'll have a steady and predictable system for turning $1 into $3, $5, or even $10 all the time, while keeping your campaigns optimized month over month. And think about this. What kind of certainty would this give you if you knew exactly by fixing a certain thing, you would be guaranteed to increase your sales the next week? What kind of stress would this remove from your life, and what would this allow you to do? Here's one of our client, Nimish, who's the founder at House-Nama. Before working with us, they were doing roughly 20 lakhs in sales and at a ROAS of around a 2.8x. Now, the first month that we worked together, we reduced the ad spend on Facebook significantly down, and on Google as well slightly, because we realized that there were a lot of campaigns that were losing them a lot of money. So we came in, we optimized their current campaigns. We did a lot of work in the account structure, the creative, the kind of offers as well. And the first month working together, we increased their ROAS from a 2.8 to a 3.5, all while reducing the ad spend, but their revenue remained almost the same. The next month, few of their best sellers went out of stock, so we tried to maintain the same growth, and this was quite in fact a better growth than what they previously were doing. And in the month of June, once their best sellers and everything was back in stock, we started scaling aggressively. So we took them from a 2.8x ROAS to a 3.7x within 3 months. And we added an extra 4 lakhs in revenue in just under 3. The same with Google Ads as well. Before working with us, they were doing a 3.7x ROAS. First month working with us, we bumped it up to a 4.2x ROAS. And after 3 to 4 months of working together, we are now at a 5x ROAS, and we have reduced their cost per purchase significantly as well. Here's another client of ours who recently got married, and these are the kind of results that we are getting for them. We spent 17,000 rupees at a 12x ROAS and over 2 lakhs in sales generated in a single day. And for this client here, we are doing roughly around 10 lakh rupees a day. Another one of our client here, Ankush, who's the founder of Diva, was recently featured on Shark Tank as well. And here are a few wins that we had with them for their team. We had scaled their brand to record-breaking days, and we had done it back to back in a single month. And now imagine waking up in the morning and seeing so many Shopify sale notifications that they bother you and you have to turn these notifications off. So instead of being just another brand, you slowly start to become the industry Goliath in your subcategory. Another benefit of using this system is when you stop burning a lot of money on testing different things that are not even the problem in the first place, you can now focus on spending the same amount on scaling because you are very certain about the results. And this brings us to the fourth and the final step. How do you like to have your customers stay loyal to you and buy from you over and over again for the 1/10 of your acquisition cost? That's where retention marketing comes in. And before you say it doesn't work in certain countries or it doesn't work for my brand, it doesn't work for you because you've been doing it the wrong way the entire time while burning through your list. If you do it the right way, emails and WhatsApp marketing alone will help you add an extra 20 to 25% without having to spend on ads to retain those customers. That's basically free cash for you that had been lying on the table for this entire time. And retention marketing isn't just about shoving products and discounts down your customers' throats. It's about building a meaningful relationship with your customers. So next time they see a similar product, the first thought that comes to their mind is the name of your brand. That is when you have achieved brand loyalty. And retention marketing not only just helps your brand loyalty to be built, but it also boosts your ad performance. Because when you segment your audiences in a certain way, you can then use those custom lists to upload them onto your Facebook Ads Manager to create custom audiences. And these custom audiences that are well segmented are really powerful. For example, for this brand over here, we spent 82,000 rupees and we generated 9x ROAS with 7 lakhs in sales and over 722 website purchases. And most of these campaigns that we are running are basically made out of well segmented customer data. Here's another brand that we did 1 lakh rupees by 7 AM. And by the end of the day, we had touched 10 lakh rupees in sales. And this brand over here was stuck at the 1 lakh rupees a month barrier for well over 9 months. And the problem they were facing was every time they tried to scale over 1 lakh rupees a month, their ads would just flop and their ROAS would start to dip, their CPAs would skyrocket. So we identified the issue they were having, and just under 2 months, we improved their new revenue ceiling to 3 lakh rupees a month. And for this brand here, once the inventory was back in stock, we did 20 lakh rupees in 4 days with overall integrated marketing. And look, we have a ton of results that just go on and on. And this stuff is happening every single day for us and our clients. So by using the whole ACE advertising system, we are pretty much able to turn any e-commerce brand from a 4 out of 10 to a whole 9.5 out of 10 in terms of growth and scale. I mean, what kind of peace of mind would this give you if you knew exactly how many sales and customers you were going to get every single week? So let me ask you this. If you knew exactly how to reach to untapped audiences with ads that capture attention and speak directly to your ideal customers, then you knew how to turn that traffic into hundreds of eager customers for a fraction of your current cost per acquisition. Then you also had a framework to identify why your campaigns are not working and what needs to be done in order to fix them. And on top of that, you had a proven step-by-step system for converting them into high-value loyal customers each and every single month on autopilot. Do you think you could double your brand's growth? Like finally hitting that 50 to 75 lakh rupees a month, or even crossing that 1 CR per month mark within the next 6 to 8 months? Or your worst case scenario, forget about doubling your brand's revenue or scaling past 50 lakh rupees a month, or even that 1 CR per month mark. Do you think that by using this system, you could improve your current performance even by 20% in the first month? Well, based on this, you will have much more predictability in your revenue and can finally scale without having to worry about your performance taking a dip. Congratulations, because now you're finally financially free. All of this is possible when you have an advertising system that you are in complete control of. But I know all of this might trigger your bullshit director to go off like 1,000 screeching seagulls inside your brain. And I totally get it. And I would be the same if it wasn't for the countless of brands that we have used this advertising system on to explode their businesses and change their lives. So by now, you're wondering how you can get your whole little hands on this potent little selling system so that you can plug it into your own business and immediately start flooding it with targeted pre-sold traffic, customers, and sales. Well, what I've given you today is just the 1,000-foot overview of this system. But there is actually a whole bunch of ninja shit that goes behind the scenes to get these type of results. And how would you like to get every little tip, hack, technique, unfair advantage, and secret that's currently working for me and my clients right now? There is actually a way that you can access this system, and that is through our agency. We specialize in running extremely profitable paid ads and retention marketing campaigns for medium to large size brands that are looking to scale. But before you're allowed access to the system, what we first want to do is offer you a free 30-minute strategy session to see how this system can be specifically applied to your individual brand and see if you're qualified to get it. On the call, we will look at where you're currently right now, where you want to go, and what do you want to accomplish. We will then analyze your business, find your competitors, analyze your target market, review your offer, your landing pages, and your goals with you. And after that is done, we'll do our research and set up a custom strategy on your brand to help you reach your goals. Now, after the plan is mapped out and we've shown you what you need to do in order to scale your brand, you can do one of two things. You can go ahead and you can implement that plan on your own, or you could partner with us and get a one-on-one help in scaling up completely done for you. You're probably wondering, like, why are we doing all of this? Well, it's obviously how we get clients. A bunch of people are so impressed by going through this whole process that they're like, dude, can't you just do all of this for me? But you got to run a legit business and you have to be hungry to scale to at least 50 lakh to 1 CR per. And you also have to be willing to do the work, invest in your business, and spend the time in order to make this happen. And most importantly, you have to be able to trust us. Now, here's the catch that you've been looking for. Unlike those agencies that onboard 30 to 50 brands every single month and then hand over the accounts to the juniors who are overworked and underpaid, we are extremely selective of who we work with. That is why we only bring on 3 to 5 clients every single month out of the 30 plus brands that we speak to on a monthly basis. And now, in order to be one of those 5 clients, you should be doing at least 20 lakh rupees a month in sales with your brand, and you have to be ready to invest in your business. You should also already have a backend plus a solid logistical foundation already in place to handle aggressive growth. Now, here's who this is not for. This isn't for brand new beginners who have no clue about what they're selling, or people who are dropshipping and selling shady products, or people who are looking to get rich quick. This isn't also for people who are broke and who have no money to invest in their business, or those people that jump from one trend to the next without a long-term vision. Also for those people who are afraid of making decisions and following through to make their dreams a reality, or anyone who's not serious about growing their business on a monthly or a yearly basis. So look, that's all I can cover in this video. I mean, I can't just sit here and answer every single one of your questions because each business is different. So if you want to go from pulling your eyeballs out, wondering when you'll finally be able to find that agency that just doesn't treat you as another client, but gives your brand the attention and the care that it deserves, so that you can finally take that international vacation, buy that fancy car, pay off that loan, live stress-free while your business continues to grow on autopilot with strong foundations in place, then all you have to do is press the button below this video and book a call with me. This call is basically to see if you're a good fit for the system, and if you are, we'll give you all the details, including the investment required to get started. If not, we'll respectfully tell you that it's not the best fit. So go ahead, click the button below and book your call today. And for the free resources that I promised earlier in the video, head on to xxmedia.com/free-resource. But if you're still on the fence, or maybe you're not quite sure if you're qualified for this, I would still book a call anyways, because at this stage you've watched the entire video, so don't let the time go to waste. Book a call now to see what this is all about, and then make the decision if this is for you or not. And finally, here are a few more results. This is during Q4, and look at the kind of CPMs we're having, and these are all conversion campaigns. So we spent 62,000 rupees, and we made back 2,72,000 rupees in sales at a 4.3x attributed ROAS in a very sophisticated industry. And we're having really good CPMs because of the kind of ads that we are making. As I said earlier, right, the ads that we make are basically made out by camping into the minds of our ideal buyers. So we exactly know the trigger points, we exactly know the pain points, we know what sort of videos will get their attention, we know what sort of videos will get engagement for us. All of the videos that we script basically don't look like we. And these are the type of results that you can expect by those videos. And here's another client for whom we did 87 lakh rupees in sales, all while being out of stock on certain days due to inventory issues. So for example, this huge flat line that you see here was when they were out of stock. Similarly here as well. But still, for these, I think it was 2 weeks or so in total that they were out of stock. So technically we just ran the ads for 14 days, 2 weeks. So imagine if we actually had the stock in place and we ran the ads for the whole 30 days. Here's another client where we did close to 6 lakh rupees in sales by 1 PM with a special drop launch that we did for a new product. For another client here, 10 lakh rupees in a single day. So all you have to do now is click the button below, and I'll speak with you soon.